Skull Murphy is Skull Murphy. Once again, sport fans, Ray Morgan at ringside to introduce you to some of the wrestlers who will appear later on in the card and to also let you meet some of the wrestlers who have appeared thus far. The fellow standing beside me is the gentleman about whom I spoke so thoroughly last week. We had the picture and so forth for you to look at and told you that he's coming in from the coast. His name is Johnny Valentine. Johnny, nice to meet you officially.
How do you do?
Now, first of all, tell me this. Just how long have you been wrestling?
12 years.
12 years. And so that this, as of my knowledge, is your first appearance at this particular arena and in the East, isn't it?
My first in Washington, yeah.
All right, so let's, for our particular viewers, since we have them all over the coast here, give us some of your vital statistics. How tall are you?
6'3 and a half.
6'3 and a half. What do you weigh?
245.
245. Do you have any favorite hold that you use?
Oh, I'm using what I call the Brain Buster.
A Brain Buster? Can you more or less describe it for us so we can look for it tonight?
Well, I deliver an elbow smash behind the man's neck, base of his skull, actually. It always renders him unconscious if I can deliver the blow, that is.
How many matches do you think you've had thus far in your career? And how many wins have you had? The percentage about?
My percentage has been very high in the last 4 or 5 years. I've only... Actually, in the last 3 years, I haven't dropped any.
Well, of course, you know, I'm sure you've been told before, you're a real good-looking guy, and so that I can answer some of this mail that is bound to be coming in, are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
You're married. Well, that'll certainly save a lot of trouble somewhere along the line. Well, Johnny, you're not only going to be here, but you're also going to be up at Madison Square Garden in the tremendous show they're having up there. And that Saturday night, who are you going to be meeting up there?
Louis Martinez.
Louis Martinez. He's a real fast, clean wrestler.
I hear he's very good.
We have a lot of fans up in New York who are watching the show right now, and I'm sure that they're going to look forward to seeing you.
I hope that he is a good man because I like to beat good men.
Would you classify yourself as, well, I don't want to use the word dirty, but would you say you are more rough than scientific, or more scientific than rough, or a good combination of both?
I would say scientifically rough.
Scientifically rough. Well, Johnny, it's a pleasure to have you with us. We'll look forward to seeing you in action a little later on the card, and I know that the fans up in New York will be wanting to come out and watch you Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. Once again, thanks very much. Johnny Valentine. That is Johnny Valentine, ladies and gentlemen, who will be coming into the ring here to do business in just a few moments. Here are a couple of boys from Australia who are going to be at Long Island Monday, June 30th, and in Philadelphia on Saturday night, June 28th. That's at the Roy, at the big outdoor show. The outdoor show is the one in Philadelphia, isn't it? No, in Long Island, at the big outdoor show, yes. That's right, you're exactly right.
This is the first opening show in Freeport of this year. It's a big open-air place. It's called the Freeport Open-Air Stadium.
And who are going to be your opponents up there, Al?
Well, it's...
I say Al and Roy start.
Go ahead,
Roy. You tell
well, we are quite sure, but there's all the top nine men up there, the Indians, and we're there, of course. But we aren't worried who our opponents are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference.
You can take them as they come, don't you, Roy?
We turn up to beat them and then leave. So.
Roy, let me have one of those boomerangs for just a minute. A lot of the people don't think that these are real. I just want to show them something. Now, this is a metal pole here, and listen. That, I guarantee you, can break your neck for you very nicely. Can't it?
Oh, they're real enough. Yeah. If they want to fight, we'll demonstrate with them.
All right. Some of the fans have written in, Al, saying, why are you allowed into the ring with these boomerangs and the other wrestlers aren't allowed to bring in anything at all?
But the idea of the boomerangs is this way. They're an emblem of our nation. Where tag team was invented. We're here from Australia for the express purpose of defeating the present world champions for the title. That's our main purpose in being here at the moment.
And the boomerangs more or less identify you as just like the bald eagle is the emblem of the United States.
That is correct.
You bring in the boomerang, and sometimes you get a little bit carried away in the excitement of the match, and you rush at the guy and want to get started right away, huh?
Well, if they didn't argue about it and cause comment towards our boomerangs, we wouldn't touch the opponent.
I see.
But they start, and that's where it's going to finish.
All right, well, let me get this straight then. At Freeport, Long Island, That'll be the Kangaroos at Freeport, Long Island on Monday night, June 30th, and in Philadelphia Saturday night, June 28th, right?
That's right. We're wrestling for the world title.
Good.
I want to add a little piece in here, Ray, that some of these people singing out here. If they want to see action, they want to come along, but if they're like some of these people that are weak heart and they're nervous, they better stay home. Take the dogs for a walk, go to a movie, watch something else. But,
All right, Roy.
Come and see us. We'll do it.
Okay, Roy. Okay, Roy. Let us have Bobby Davis up here now for a second. Al, thanks very much. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again.
These people don't appreciate world class when they see it.
Well, okay. Good enough. Right on. See you, Roy. Right. Now we have a fella strutting down here in a silver coat. He's going to tell us about a show that I'm sure you won't want to miss. It's Bobby Davis. Here he is. Hello, Bobby. How are you? Bobby, I know you're back in the dressing room. You've got Dr. Jerry Graham and his brother Eddie, who made a sensational debut here last week. And I assume that they're all set to go tonight again, right?
That's correct, sir. The world's two greatest wrestlers. I am very happy to say that they have met a number of these so-called, I call them drugstore cowboys. They're supposed to be champion wrestlers, and they're undefeated as of yet. They're the Universal Heavyweight Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and as a matter of fact, they're defending their title on the 28th of this month in New Haven, Connecticut.
That's Saturday night, June 28th in New Haven.
That's correct. They're going to destroy that Lewin kid and the Puerto Rican. Yeah, that's right. The Puerto Rican, I have to admit, is an excellent wrestler, but let's face it, there's no competition for the two greatest.
I got a letter tonight from a man up in New Haven. Let's see, Dr. Jerry Graham and Eddie wrestled Lewin, and I forget who the other person was, but it must have been a tremendous bout because this fan wrote in, apparently had been ready to say how Dr. Jerry Graham and Eddie had been beaten, but she admitted that they were the winners.
That's right. It was a rough, tough match, although, did I hear you say Dr. Jerry Graham and Eddie were beaten?
No, she said she had written that she thought she would be able to tell me they were beaten.
That's right.
She admitted that they weren't.
Never make that mistake. A lot of people try to guess ahead of time, but there's no way my two boys can be beaten. Under my supervision and with the background that they have, the wrestling background they have, they are unbeatable.
Well, Bobby, tell me one thing about yourself. Boy, the match gets going in here, and you get a pretty good going over yourself sometime. You train with Jerry and Eddie, too, to keep in shape?
I wrestle quite frequently, Ray, and I keep in top physical condition at all times. Sometimes it's necessary. When I see my boys are having a tough time, I go in and I try to do my best. And if it helps them out, great, and if I have to take a beating, well, that's my tough
part of the game. We'll see you later on. Bobby, nice to see you. Okay. At New Haven, Saturday night, right?
That's New Haven on the 28th.
28th,
that's
Saturday
right.
night.
Remember when you see my boys in there that they got to come out on top because we're in there to win, and that's the only reason we're in the
Okay, Bobby.
Okay,
Arnie Stolin's waiting to come up here, and I want to talk to him. Hi, Arnie. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Nice to be back here talking to you.
I don't have to tell you the difference in the reception. I'm sure the people can see it for themselves. Arnie, you were the first match on TV tonight. Tell me, because you all had your backs to me, how in the world did you get handcuffed to Mercer?
Ray, well, I don't know. You're just as much puzzled as I am. In fact, I didn't even know where they came from. And I know they were on tag. Look at my hands.
Yes, I can see. You still see the marks on it.
He's a rough guy, this Manigault. You don't know what he's going to do next.
One of the main reasons that I wanted to have you up here, and if the fellows upstairs will get the picture of Dick Hutton ready and put it on the monitor, I wanted to ask you some questions about how long have you known Dick, and what can you tell us about him?
Well, Ray, I can tell you Dick is one of the greatest boys in this wrestling business, and he's a very tough boy, and I met Dick when he come out of college out of Oklahoma, and as you know, he was national youth champion for 4 years, and he was in the Olympics, and he's a great wrestler, and I had the privilege of working out with him when he first came out of college, and I can tell you he was pretty tough when he started out. As you know, coming out of nationals, you have to be tough, and being collegiate champion. And I wrestled him, and he was plenty tough then. So with all these years of professional behind him, he's got about 4 or 5 years now behind him, and he's making a tough boy.
Well, here's something, usually we have someone in the West say they're the champ, someone in the East says they're the champ, someone next door says they're the champ. But Dick Hutton is the undisputed heavyweight wrestling champ of the world, recognized by the NBA and the National Wrestling Alliance. and in his last appearance, defeated Edouard Carpentier. So, I guess that makes him the real champ.
It makes him a real champ, and Omega definitely also defeated Lou Thesz. That's right.
Barney, that's all the time we have. I just want to say one more thing, that the champ will make his first local appearance at the Capitol Arena July 3rd. Be sure and be watching. Arnie,
he's a real champ. He's a champ through and through. He's a very nice fella and a very good wrestler.
If he's half as nice as you, Arnie, we'll be glad to see you. Thank you very much. That's all the time we have, fans. Don't forget, the champ will be here July 3rd. Dick Hutton, the undisputed heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, recognized for the NBA and the National Wrestling Alliance. And in his last appearance in the North, defeated Edouard Carpentier and is declared the champion. I see my good friends Kit Fox and Chief Bigheart here. Don't use me. Don't use me to pull yourself up on here. Chief, got a letter. Are you a real Indian?
Sure I am.
Are you a real Indian?
That's what my mother
Honest Indian, huh? Okay, fine. Everybody wanted we got a letter. Someone wanted to know. And you're a chief. Is that right?
Right.
Kit, have you reached that distinction yet?
Yes, I serve a council. Anybody wants to write to the American, to the National Congress of American Indian, Connecticut Avenue here in Washington, D.C. Well, we receive a lot of mail down there, too, you know, from our various Indian friends and, well, everyone. And we've been glad to hear from them, too.
I got some mail, if you don't mind, from, I don't have much time. We're supposed to be in Bridgeport here, and we were going to see our fan club members down there. You know, we're wrestling there for the first time.
Pleasure meeting ballroom?
Yeah, that's right. Ballroom. All right. I'd like to tell our little fan club residents.
Okay, Chief, thanks a lot.
Count-off time once again. And instead of having a wrestler for you, this time we have a surprise, and I hope it'll be a treat for you to get the inside on some of the activity behind one of the wrestlers, one of the better, if not the best-known wrestler in the ring today, Buddy Rogers. I'd like to have you meet his manager, Bobby Davis.
Good evening, George. How are you this evening?
Fine. How are you, Bobby?
Fine. It's always a great pleasure to be here. You know, I think today you're looking at, without a doubt, the greatest, not only the greatest, but the proudest, the happiest man in professional wrestling, George. Because, as you know, my champion has stomped over everything that I've put in his path. He's, without a doubt, the most fantastic, the most well-conditioned athlete in professional wrestling today. And the only fault that I have is that I just can't find any competition for Buddy. It seems that none of these fellows have enough talent. Well, I've seen them, they're well-muscled, and a few of them have guts, and a few of them have a little bit of everything. But nobody has everything that it takes to make a great wrestler. You know, where Buddy and I come from, it takes, first of all, well-conditioning. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of power. It takes a lot of GUTS guts. And first and foremost, it takes a lot of brains. My champion has all of these factors. And when it comes to brains, he's far superior, far ahead of anything else in professional wrestling today.
Bobby, how have you helped him as his manager?
How have I helped? I am the brains behind the champion. When it comes to the champion, you know, they don't even call me Bobby Davis anymore. They call me Mr. Wrestling. If I ever turn off that spout, there'll be no more world champions because I have the greatest. I'm behind the one and only champion, Buddy Nature Boy Rogers. When I sit in that corner, it's for one reason and one reason only. That's to watch for his faults. But since I've been managing him, there have been no faults and nothing to look for.
Well, I guess that takes care of me. And there you have Bobby Davis, Mr. Wrestling.